Good evening, Black Metallurgist here. Tonight we will be reviewing an album by the band, really the one-man band, Lurker of Chalice, and it's a self-titled album. It was released in 2005. This is black metal, atmospheric black metal par excellence, as one-man bands go, such as Burzum or Zastor. This is good to listen to, especially after having experienced Blut aus Nord, Kralis, Nocturnal Mortem, and Sufjan Stevens. It was a series of 1s and 1.5. I needed to get those out of my system, maybe listen to some quality black metal, and this is definitely really, really good atmospheric black metal. It's probably better that it's one-man band because he can exert complete control over his musical environment, his musical surroundings. He doesn't have to answer to anyone except the record label, perhaps. This album is like being on a dark ride where you are transported through these different feelings of mystery and dread and doom and malevolence. There's always something ominous or sinister peeking around the corner. It's very hypnotic. There are a lot of doomy sections where things slow down and you really enjoy these just big, fat, fuzzy guitar riffs or murky bass, and they just kind of like lay into you with these repetitions, and you just sit back and just kind of drift off with these sounds. It's like taking you deeper and deeper into this tunnel or a black hole, right into a dungeon. You're really diving into the abyss with this album. It's definitely headphone material in a dark room. It's pretty scary stuff. I enjoyed it. I could tell by the first couple tracks that I was going to like it. It has a very cinematic feel to it. Excellent bass work, and like I said, this is doom in full bloom. Some of these songs have a really strong doom element and kind of a slow motion shoegazy sound or texture to the guitars. There's a song on there called Spectre in the title, Spectre and Valkyrie. And the guitars remind me a lot of Robin Guthrie's shimmery guitars in the Cocteau Twins, which is kind of a weird reference, but I thought the guitars are really quite nice, beautiful almost. There's occasional dissonance, and I found this in American black metal like Kralis and a couple others, but it's not overwhelming. It's just a couple strums here and there for effect. It's not the main thing that's just like battering you like Liturgy or anything like that. The keyboards are present, but they never overwhelm the compositions, which I'm grateful for because bands like Nocturnal Mortem didn't know when to call it quits. It adds to the mysterious feel. It accentuates the songs. There's a song called Minion that has some organs in there, and it sounds like a macabre soap opera, kind of like Dark Shadows or something like that. It's very cool. There's a song called Granite, and that's probably the closest to traditional black metal with the rapid-fire drums and the grim vocals. Speaking of vocals, Rest, the one man behind Lurker of Chalice, his vocals range from kind of almost a death metal, kind of gurgly spoken word. He also does kind of the pig grunt stuff. Spoken word when it sounds kind of like a dying radio transmission, or it's kind of like in the distance. Chants, moans and groans. And he also has some what I would call like clean vocals, singing, but kind of has a flat note to it, which is kind of cool, like Michael Gira of the Swans or Douglas Pierce of Death in June, kind of this flat vocal. So it's kind of neat. It happens in one of the later songs. So his vocal application is all over the place. And he does some grim vocals too, but not as many, not as much. Lyrically, I haven't really been able to find a lyrical resource. I think I found some of the lyrics on Encyclopedia Metallum. And they're pretty harsh. They're very poetic, very hellish, hellishly dark, or darkly hellish. Very, very cool stuff. So I would be interested to see what the lyrical content of all these songs. Very, very mysterious. There's a lot of random sounds in this album, like crows squawking and picking a corpse. I don't know if they're really picking a corpse, but I like to think of it like that. Maybe some roadkill. Pigs snorting, birds screeching, wind howling, wind chimes chiming. you're diving down this rabbit hole, and there's all these strange things happening. It's a very, very almost like a creepy movie. There's some movie samples in there, 3 or 4 of them, I think, that are pretty interesting, and they're not distracting. They really add to the overall feel of this atmosphere that he's created. I love this album. Can't say enough good things about it. If I had to pick out a con, I'd be hard pressed. I want to hear more of Lurker of Chalice. I don't know if this is a one-time deal or what. There's a band called Leviathan, which he's originally from, so I might go back and look at some of that material, see if it stands up. Anyhow, I love this album. I give it a 4.5.